Greetings, this is Chloe Neville. I am participating in Ethne's 31 Days of Tarot for 2017, and I am on day 15. I finally have caught up with everybody else, hopefully, and we're talking about our views on the Tarot Court, and is the Tarot, I believe they're meaning Tarot Court, outdated or not needed. I come from the perspective, as I've already mentioned if you watch my other videos, of using animal cards to read people. For me, I like to take in the qualities of what I know about the animal and kind of apply it to human personality types, and kind of vice versa. Like, I explain to people how their personality type is like the animal, right? And how, say like with the Druid Animal Oracle, you have, like, say, one of my favorite ones is when I get like Otter or Bear. Now, Otter for a woman is a very nurturing lady who loves to have fun, but also knows when it's time to take care of things and how to maybe handle things in a way that can be playful and still takes care of whatever needs to happen. But she knows that too much work and not enough play can be unbalanced and not make people happy. So to me, an Otter card is very feminine. Although if I was looking at a male who felt that he was really playful and perhaps maybe he really loved being in water, loved swimming or worked in water and whatever, I would say that perhaps he, as much as he was a hard worker, also knew how to have fun. And that quality is not always male or female. It's just now dominantly male or female, but just it transfers over. So there's also a salmon jumping in the background over here, and some other things in the picture that might draw my eyes more. And this is an animal oracle, right? So another one I sometimes get is like it's a bear or the cat. Any of these can describe a personality. We have behaviors that are very similar to animals, and how they handle their territory and their mating rituals and things like that. Some people tend to follow similar patterns and personality types that we find in the animal kingdom. So when I'm looking at a tarot deck, like, say, one I've been using lately is the Mystical Cats. So here is the Sky Tom, which in another deck would be the Knight of Swords, or whatever Knight of Air is for that deck, right? But in this picture, this Tom is totally focused on a being who the bird who he sees as prey, and he is totally focused on what he needs to do to catch that bird, right? So say we take those qualities and apply it to a person, and I would say that perhaps this is a rather focused male who has his sights either on someone or something, and he sees the object of his focus as more as prey, or a manifesting something he intends to take for himself. Okay, perhaps his view on the person or thing isn't seeing the whole picture, or just he's so focused he's not seeing everything else that's going on around, because it seems like in the background there's like a storm brewing up and he's totally focused on his hunt. Okay, this could be a good or a bad thing depending on the other cards surrounding. Yes. So I feel like, yes, the tarot court is relevant for those who want to use it, but there's different ways to do that. For me, I tend to look at the scenery and the qualities of the beings or background that's happening and what's involved. Like, this is the Fire Tom, another knight, so Knight of Fire, and I guess in other decks it would be Wands or what have you, and it reminds me of a very lean, active, possibly athletic individual who is just determined to get through the next moment and get through whatever he's facing there. His path, he needs to take care not to get himself set on fire to get to wherever he needs to go. So he's taking his time, but staying focused and moving forward, not hesitating. Yeah. So with those kind of descriptions, you could definitely describe someone in someone else's life, right? So, and this is a cat depictions of those kind of qualities. Yeah, so definitely relevant. But I also read Lenormand and some other decks that don't have court cards, and they focus on a combination of the cards together, helping to describe a person. Having a significator card in the deck to represent the person being read for, and then the additional male or female cards that come up, certain ones like the snake, or having the female card come up when you're reading for a male or what have you. Some of those Lenormand decks are given extra male and female cards. They're supposed to be used to represent, say, you pick one as the significator, one that either the person feels closest represents them, or the reader picks as the representative for that person, and then they decide whether or not to put the other males or female, having doubles of the males or female in the deck, or having it out. So yeah, I don't think they're necessary, but they are part of the tarot system, and as I've heard from others and seen, some people take the court cards out because they just don't feel like they need them. I too have used the major arcana sometimes to represent qualities of, say, perhaps when I get judgment, maybe the person is a lawyer or works in the court system in some way, and then maybe another card might narrow down the employment of some sort. So yeah, I don't need them, but they could add many layers. And I tend to treat the court cards personally as just another suit card, possibly showing qualities of the person, but more often just adding to the story of the situation that is happening. Although if I notice that there's a lot of court cards in a spread, I'll say, well, I just look to see whether they're I get the feeling, or they look to be male or female, and that gives me an indicator if there's a lot of people involved in a particular situation, or if it's only one or two, and then I feel for the rest of the information and empath. So yes, I feel the court cards could be, but I also feel that it's not necessary, and I feel it's a personal choice. Okay, so yeah, I think I'll leave this at that, and then I'm going to do a separate one. Oh, I wanted to kind of combine 17 with this because uh, I don't journal. I sometimes write notes. I guess you could call that a journal, but I usually just have a few different pads of paper or whatever. And I kind of keep a loose bit of notes that I'm taking at the time, but I don't journal. And it's partially because when I'm reading, aside from if I have to take just one or two little notes, or maybe just writing the title of the cards in, say, like an ace or a number with whatever the suit, or some other kind of way to mark it down so that I can keep it in mind if I need to maybe research other levels if I'm not getting a lot of information with my first hits. I do tend to take notes, but I don't keep one journal. I just don't. So day 17, I don't really have anything to show for that. And so yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and kind of combine 15 and 17, and I think I'll do 16 on its own. Okay, all right. Talk with you later. Bye bye.